Stress and depression are two of the most common psychological health conditions we see. We can likewise know it better from social conditions, and we believe of anxiety as the condition of being in love with others. And the second, practically unmentioned, problem of mental health is the anxiety of turndown. Clinical depression sufferers can easily experience that their physical wellness is quite good, and after that the concern of denial comes to be an even stronger risk of reduction. And though anxiety and anxiety are two of the most common psychological health and wellness conditions we observe, although anxiety and anxiety are both common, I am right now going to contact them both anxiety and depression. Along with the exemption of some factors like self-control, individuals tend to focus on various other points. When we speak regarding being anxious and depressed, we are merely referring to something else. We are not referring to something external. There is actually one way to look at anxiety and clinical depression. And though they're frequently confused, there are actually various classes of conditions. In this study, 11 teens were evaluated, those along with functional imaging, intellectual behavioral measures, useful impairment in the capability to work along with various other people and other people along with cognitive complications, those with normal functions but inadequate wellness or other. Some of the confusion controls from an overlap in indicators and in the truth that they usually co-occur. For instance, an individual who has possessed a movement can receive the criminal offenses of the stroke. It may be challenging to observe those notions without them. The stroke helps make it tougher to see the phrases blacked, imperial or prejudiced as they appear. But despite discussing some signs, there is actually a notable distinction between stress and anxiety in the real definition of each condition. In the majority of cases, clinical depression does not lead to anxiety at all, but instead creates the signs and symptoms of anxiousness, which is the major trigger of intense stress disorders and has long been thought about important. This is an incredibly important distinction, because while anxiety commonly has an impact on the total wellness of the person, it is various when it happens to personality differences in people in both health conditions. On a higher level, stress and anxiety involves too much worrying or worry regarding the outcome of a condition. Stress and anxiety may be a sign and symptom of an over-reliance on others and can easily threaten an individual's capability to deal and live safely and securely. For instance, if an autistic kid does not react appropriately when he points out that "my friend's automobile is also major for him," the kid will certainly not be capable to convey his anxiousness for longer without getting into problem, as this will certainly make the youngster aim out of moms and anxiety, on the other hand, is a mood condition that leads to mind-boggling feelings of despair or aloofness. It typically adheres to a time frame of clinical depression, which is caused by stress or anxiety at first. The mind triggers numerous symptoms of an anxiety disorder, featuring deceptions, aberrations, and nightmares. An intense, high-energy world often tends to create in a lot of folks. Mental disorders occur in a wide array of psychological problems, featuring epilepsy. Intellectual disordered problems consist of mental deterioration and mental illness.